The story begins when our hero wakes up one morning and finds a woman beside him, and she claims to be his wife from the future. She says she has returned in time to fix his habits and improve his life. Imagine someone saying that to you. Sounds interesting already, right? So what happens when this future wife arrives? Does Jonathan's life get better, or does everything get messier? Jonathan is a passionate photographer who dreams of holding his own solo exhibition one day. He's hardworking, obsessed with getting the perfect shot, and often skips food and sleep for his passion. In the opening scene, he's out in the snow waiting for two bears to play, just so he can capture that perfect photo. Later, Jonathan meets his friend Carlo at a bar. Carlo tells him, "Your photos are amazing, but for an exhibition, you need a complete collection." Jonathan thinks about it while smoking, then goes home exhausted. The next morning, he wakes up to find a woman staring at him, sore. Jonathan panics and demands, "Who are you?" She calmly replies, "I'm Sore, your future wife." Jonathan freaks out, runs outside and calls Carlo, assuming it's a prank. But Carlo denies everything, saying he can't even get a girlfriend himself. Meanwhile, Sore simply smiles from the window. Jonathan tells her to leave, but Sore gently says she doesn't want money and walks away. When Jonathan steps out, she appears again, handing him his wallet and phone, things he actually forgot. This makes Jonathan suspicious. As he walks away, she follows him quietly. Trying to escape her, he speeds up. Sore warns him, "Slow down or you'll fall." He ignores her and immediately crashes into a tomato vendor. Annoyed, Jonathan goes to meet his girlfriend Elsa. He explains the weird situation, but Elsa gets irritated and says he should cut ties with Carlo. She also tells him her father is ready to open a restaurant for him if he agrees to marry her. But Jonathan's dream is photography, not running a restaurant. They argue, and just then Sore walks in and sits beside Jonathan. "I'm Sore, Jonathan's wife," she says happily. Elsa explodes with anger. Jonathan tries to explain it's a prank, but Sore insists on eating right next to him. Elsa gets even more furious when Sore says, "If I were a stranger, why would Jonathan pay for my food?" Elsa throws water at Jonathan, but Sore quickly blocks it with the menu card. Elsa storms out. Jonathan tries to follow her, but Sore warns, "Don't go, you'll get hurt." He ignores her and instantly bumps into a waiter and falls down. Now Jonathan is shaken. How is Sore predicting every single thing before it happens? Jonathan walks away, still confused and thinking deeply. Sore quietly follows him. When they reach near his house, Jonathan turns around and warns her, "If you take one more step, I'll call the police. Please, just leave." He goes inside, locks the door, and stands near the window smoking. When he looks outside, Sore is still sitting calmly on a bench, not moving at all. The next morning, she's still there, sitting in the exact same spot. Fed up and wanting answers, Jonathan finally takes her to a restaurant. He orders something for himself and sits down. But Sore tells the waiter, "Just bring him water. I'm the one who needs food." The waiter places the food only in front of Sore, and Jonathan just stares helplessly while she eats peacefully. Eventually he asks, "Please, tell me who you really are and why you're making my life so difficult." Sore calmly replies, "My name is Sore, and I'm your wife. I came from the future." Jonathan, of course, doesn't believe her. She adds, "Ask me anything about yourself. I know everything because I am your wife." Later, Jonathan goes to meet Carlo, who is busy practicing for a stage play. Jonathan doesn't even say hello. He starts arguing immediately. "Where did you find that girl? Why did you send her to my house? And how does she know so much about me? You must have told her everything." Carlo is shocked and confused. "What girl are you talking about? Her name is Sore. She knows everything about my life from A to Z. She even says she's my wife from the future." The movie then shows what Sore had told Jonathan earlier. He had asked her, "If you're really my wife, tell me my mother's name." Sore immediately replied, "Your mother's name is Maya Selvia. She has 12 siblings, and she's the third daughter in the family." Jonathan was stunned. She didn't just know the name, she knew the whole background. Then he asked, "Okay, what about my siblings?" Sore said, "Your elder sister's name is Sandy. Her wedding is already fixed. And after her wedding, that's when you will meet me." Jonathan's mind was spinning, so he asked again, "What about my younger sister?" Sore replied, "You don't have a younger sister, so what name should I tell you?" This completely shocked him. He told all this to Carlo and asked, "How does she know all of this?" Now even Carlo looked worried and confused. When Jonathan returns home, he finds Sore cooking his favorite chicken soup. He asks, "Okay, fine. Let's say you really are my future wife. But why did you come here?" Sore smiles and says, "I came to improve your life." Jonathan rolls his eyes and says, "My life is already fine. What do you want to fix?" Sore takes him to his studio and says, "I know you're meeting curator David today to show your photos, but he won't choose those. I'll show you the one he will love." She opens Jonathan's secret locker and takes out a box. Jonathan panics and says, "Please don't open that," but Sore calmly says, Inside this box is a special photo, the one you took of a woman in a Ladakh temple. It's frame number 14, shot 28. Show that to David. He will definitely be impressed. Jonathan is shocked. No one knew about that box. No one knew about that photo. This is the moment he finally starts believing she might actually be telling the truth. Jonathan takes the photo and goes to meet David with Carlo. And just like Sor said, David is amazed. I've never seen such a shot in my life. Truly brilliant. Jonathan and Carlo are stunned. From another table, Sor quietly watches and smiles proudly. Later, she asks Jonathan, "Now, do you believe me?" Jonathan finally accepts that she really might be his future wife, and that she came only to help him. For the first time, the two shake hands properly, a real moment of trust. In the next scene, Sor burns all of Jonathan's cigarettes and pours every bottle of alcohol into the sink. The pain Jonathan feels in that moment is indescribable. He panics and shouts, "How will I survive without alcohol? I can't live without smoking and drinking." But Sor completely changes his lifestyle. She wakes him up early, takes him for morning walks, makes sure he eats proper meals, and forces him to exercise regularly. Slowly, she builds a healthy routine for him, and their life starts becoming truly beautiful. Day by day, they grow closer. One day, David tells Jonathan, "There's a photo exhibition in Madrid, and I want your collection for it. I know you'll give me something unique." Jonathan feels very inspired and begins working with full passion. One afternoon, Sor is about to open a parcel, but Jonathan quickly stops her. Sor calmly says, "I know these are love letters from your ex-girlfriend. We have to see what's inside." Jonathan tries to distract her by tickling her, and the playful moment brings them even closer. Jonathan leans forward to kiss her, but Sor gently stops him. "I'm your future wife, Jonathan. We're not married yet." Jonathan instantly steps back. Sor explains, "You will meet me for the first time at your elder sister's wedding. After that, we'll fall in love, then get married, and everything you're trying to do now will happen at the right moment." Jonathan smiles and says, "Okay, but now I'm fully convinced you're the one I'm going to marry. Because of you, my life is finally moving in the right direction." That evening, the two of them read a book together, sharing a very cute and romantic moment. The next day, Jonathan is selecting photos to show David. He asks Sor which one she prefers. Sor gives her choice, but Jonathan still feels something is incomplete. He needs one final perfect picture. So they travel to a beautiful spot where Jonathan wants to capture the sunset. He sets up his camera and waits. From far away, Sor shouts, "Eat something first, then take your photo." But Jonathan stays focused. Annoyed, Sor walks right in front of the camera. Jonathan looks up and smiles. "This view is perfect too. Turn left, now right, look straight." He starts taking photos of Sor. "David will love these," he says confidently. They return home, relax, and fall asleep. Later that night, after Sor dozes off, Jonathan quietly sneaks outside to smoke. But Sor wakes up, catches him immediately, and scolds him. "This habit, after our marriage, it causes so many problems. Please stop doing the things I keep telling you not to do." Jonathan tries to explain, "It's an old habit, Sor. I can't quit all of a sudden, but I will try." Sor's eyes fill with emotion. "You don't understand my pain. Because of this bad habit, just 10 years happens." Jonathan tries to test her again. He asks, "How do I believe you're my future wife?" Sor calmly replies, "You smoked your first cigarette secretly in the high school bathroom." Jonathan freezes. No one knew that. She adds, "You told me this after we got married." This time, Jonathan finally believes her again. Sor fixes his routine again, but Jonathan secretly drinks again. One night, he lies drunk on the street, and Sor breaks down crying. "Why are you killing yourself early with this poison? You will die one day, but because of you, I die every single day." Her nose bleeds again, and the loop resets. Sor wakes up emotionally exhausted. The constant cycles have drained her completely. In the next loop, Jonathan is smoking again. Sor stops him. Jonathan says, "You may be my wife, but don't try to change all my habits. I can't live without smoking." Sor replies in pain, "If cigarettes matter more to you, then after your sister's wedding, don't meet me. Don't fall in love with me. Don't marry me. I can't watch you die again. I can't destroy my life again and again. I love you. Please understand." Her nose bleeds once more. Time resets again. This time, before Jonathan even wakes up, Sor quietly leaves. Jonathan meets Elsa at the restaurant as usual, but Sor doesn't appear. Instead, she goes into a nearby shop looking for a job. They don't have any vacancies. She tries another place, and because she knows fashion, the owner takes her to a friend's boutique. Inside, two customers are complaining about a dress that doesn't fit. Sor studies the dress and asks one of the women to stand straight and lift her heels as if she's wearing high heels. The woman does it, and suddenly the dress fits perfectly. Sor explains the styling, compliments her look, and calmly solves the issue. The customer is impressed. Marco, the boutique owner, arrives and sees how confidently Soar handled everything. Realizing she has real talent, he hires her immediately. He also offers her a small room at his home. When he notices she has no luggage, he understands she must have come trusting someone, and that person left her alone. Soar tries to move on with her life, and Marco supports her. One day, Elsa comes to the boutique to choose her wedding gown. Jonathan is with her. Soar's heart breaks when she sees them together, realizing Jonathan is going to marry Elsa now. Marco tells Soar to take their measurements. Holding back tears, she measures them quietly, but after a moment, she can't take it anymore and rushes to the bathroom. She remembers Marco's advice. 3 things can't be changed: when the past, death, and pain. But the people who experience them can change themselves. These words give her strength, and she returns to work. Outside, she sees Elsa and Jonathan arguing. Elsa says, "Why do you look so upset? We're shopping for our wedding, and you're not even a little happy. If you have a problem with my father, solve it. But don't walk around looking so dead. Don't come with me if you're going to behave like this." She storms out angrily. After Jonathan leaves, Soar tells Marco, "You were right. The past, death, and pain can't be changed, but the people who experience them can change themselves." Marco nods and asks, "Yes, I said that, but why bring it up now? Was that man who just left Jonathan?" Hearing his name, Soar is filled with memories and emotions. She hugs Marco and whispers, "Thank you. You've taken such good care of me." Tears form in her eyes, and suddenly her nose bleeds again. The loop resets. This time, when Jonathan wakes up, Soar immediately opens the parcel Jonathan always stopped her from touching. She always assumed it had Elsa's old love letters, but inside she finds letters Jonathan wrote to his father. It becomes clear he missed him deeply. One letter says, "Dad, happy birthday. I don't know if you ever think about me, but I miss you a lot." Soar is shocked. How did I never see this before? Just then, Jonathan wakes up. She quickly tries to explain, "You really miss your father. You should talk to him. And I'm Soar, your wife from the future. Carlo didn't send me," but Jonathan, confused as always in this loop, pushes her out of the house. In the next loop, when Soar tries again to explain everything, Jonathan hands her over to the police. Soar realizes she needs to approach things differently. So in the following reset, she talks to him calmly, gently, explaining everything slowly. This time, Jonathan begins to trust her again, and they start feeling happy together once more. One day, Jonathan is smoking, and surprisingly, Soar doesn't scold him. She says softly, "I know you're smoking because you miss your father. Whatever you feel, love, anger, you need to tell him. Only then your heart will feel lighter. Only then your stress will reduce, and maybe you won't need cigarettes anymore. Just try." Jonathan gets angry. "What do you know about my father? When I was 4 and my sister was 6, my parents fought every day. They never got along. He took out his anger on us. He married someone else while my mother was still alive. He never cared about us. I will never meet him." Soar replies gently, "If you keep repeating what he did, then how are you any different? You smoke to escape your pain, and because of it, a few years after our marriage, you die and leave me alone. Your father left you. Are you going to leave me the same way?" Her voice shakes, tears flow, and then the loop resets again. This time, instead of going to Jonathan first, Soar goes to meet Carlo. She says, "I'm Soar, Jonathan's wife from the future." Carlo thinks she's joking, but she explains everything clearly. Carlo finally says, "Elsa always wanted to control Jonathan. That's why their relationship never worked. Jonathan wants freedom. He hates when someone tries to control him. But maybe you can change that." He laughs and asks, "So you came from the future with a time machine? If yes, can I borrow it? Or at least give me a lucky lottery number?" Soar sighs. "Jonathan might change someday, but you will never change." Then she adds, "I didn't come through a time machine, but I will take good care of Jonathan." And she walks away. One day, Jonathan is working out because Soar suggested it. Soar gently says, "I don't want to force you to do anything. Don't exercise for me. Do it only if you feel it will improve your life. And that day, I brought up your father. I shouldn't have upset you." "I'm sorry," Jonathan asks, "but how do you know about my father?" Soar sighs softly. "I told you, I'm from the future. I know everything about you. How long will you stay trapped in this anger? It's holding you back. Please let it go. I'm with you." They decide Jonathan should meet his father. Jonathan quietly asks, "Tell me, how was our married life?" Soar smiles. "It was good. Of course we fought sometimes. Everyone does. But no matter how many lifetimes I get, I'd still marry you every single time." Jonathan smiles. "So you love me that much?" Soar replies, "You've asked me that many times before." They finally reach Jonathan's father's house. Jonathan knocks, but just then, Blood drips from Soar's nose. Time resets again. Every time they get close, the loop breaks. Sometimes the sun even sets too early, giving Soar less time to help Jonathan. One day the news says, because of climate change, sunsets will happen much earlier. For Soar, this is terrible. Earlier sunsets mean she has even less time to change Jonathan's fate. The loops start repeating faster. Again and again, she watches Jonathan die of a heart attack 10 years after marriage. She can't bear it anymore. Then one day, Jonathan wakes up and Soar is gone. Later, he meets Elsa, who again tells him her father will open a restaurant for him. Soon after, Jonathan talks to Carlo. I broke up with Elsa. She wants to control everything. And bro, I feel strange. Like many days pass inside one day. Something inside me feels lighter, like my life is getting better. Jonathan now focuses completely on his photography. Gathering courage, he finally goes to meet his father. His father's second wife opens the door and invites him in. Jonathan sees his father playing joyfully with his younger son. Watching this hurts him. He and Sandy never got this love. Then he notices a framed childhood photo of himself with his father. A moment later, his father enters the room. On the table lies that same photo, turned over. On the back, Jonathan had written, Dad, maybe you forgot us. When we needed you most, you left us. You were only my father for 4 years, but still, thank you for those 4 years. And yes, I forgive you. Reading this, his father breaks down in tears. He rushes outside to find Jonathan, but Jonathan is already gone. Next, we see Jonathan waking up early and working out by himself. He eats on time, sleeps properly, and takes care of his health. The biggest emotional struggle of his life, facing his father, is finally over. After finding peace with him, Jonathan feels lighter, confident, and completely free from stress. And when someone heals from the inside, they don't need cigarettes or alcohol anymore. Jonathan quits both. One morning while jogging, he meets his mother. Seeing the positive change in him, she becomes very happy. She asks, when are you coming home, son? Jonathan smiles gently. Soon, Mom. Jonathan finally achieves his dream. He holds his solo photography exhibition. A girl walks in, it's Soar, but in this timeline, they have never met. As she explores the gallery, she stops at a sunset photo, the same moment Jonathan once captured when Soar had stepped into the frame during the loops. But here, Soar was never there, so the picture only shows the sunset. Yet she feels strangely drawn to it. Jonathan stands beside her. Soar says, this photo feels different. Maybe something to do with climate change? Jonathan replies softly, climate change affects life deeply. When the earth changes, we change too. Just like in life, we lose things, but we gain something new as well. Soar smiles. You speak beautifully. Jonathan signals the staff. Turn off the lights. The gallery darkens, and an aurora display lights up the room. He tells her the story behind capturing the sunset. Soar says, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were the photographer. Jonathan smiles warmly. No need to apologize. You appreciated my work sincerely. That's the best compliment. He extends his hand. I'm Jonathan. What's your name? She whispers. Soar. They shake hands. For a moment, Soar hesitates. Then she places her hand in his. Instantly, both of them remember everything. The loops, the love, the pain, the countless times Soar returned to save him. Jonathan realizes how hard she fought time and fate just to keep him alive. Soar realizes the man in front of her is the same Jonathan she married, the man she loved enough to battle death for. Her eyes fill with tears, and in those tears, we see the original timeline. Jonathan collapsing from a heart attack, Soar running to him too late, and later crying at his grave. She reads his unfinished wish to photograph the Arctic, the only place without a fixed time zone. To honor him, she travels there alone. Under the aurora lights he always wanted to see, she stands quietly, letting a tear fall on the snow. Before returning, she reads Jonathan's notes one last time, closes her eyes, and falls asleep. When she opens her eyes, she finds herself lying beside Jonathan, the beginning of the loop. Overwhelmed, she hugs him tightly, crying, I thought I lost you. I won't let anything happen to you. But Jonathan, who doesn't know her yet in this version, pushes her away. Suddenly, her nose bleeds, and she collapses. The next morning, she wakes up beside him again. That's when she realizes she is trapped in a time loop. But through this loop, she can save Jonathan's life and heal her own heart. We already know how the cycle unfolds. At one point, Soar had told Jonathan, please don't forget me over time. Now Jonathan remembers everything. He holds her tightly, both of them crying in relief. And with that emotional moment, the movie ends. How did you like this movie? Tell me in the comments. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
If you want more movie explainers like this, comment the next movie name. And subscribe to Kip's Movie Explain at K.Movie.E for more. please visit to our Instagram and Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching till the end.